Okay, so I filed this thing down quite a bit. See, it has rounded edges now. Let's file it down on the inside some more. And on the outside. Just gonna go around. The fine file works pretty good, especially since this is thin metal. So just so we can get those nice rounded edges. And the corners are still a little bit messed up. Yep. So we just drill these two holes and we should be good. So you can see the drill bit got caught. It's just kind of unavoidable. And yeah. So we are gonna have to file out these holes a little bit more when we're done. But okay, so yeah, I bent up a little bit more. It's thin metal. Just bend it back in place. So filing it down, and we can remove all the burrs. Okay, this looks like about as good as we're gonna get it. It's pretty much what I expected to get, so that's good. We'll just clean up all the filings which we've made and put it on our robot arm. So relatively clean now. As you can see, holes match up. Let's get some bolts and try to stick this thing on. If any of you want to know, these are 632 times 3/4 inch. You can get smaller than 3/4 inch, but this size of bolt is an ideal size for this. So pretty much it's just tightening it on both edges. So yeah, just screws in place. And so what I want to do is I want to screw this down. I'll just screw it in on two corners probably. And if you wanted to, you don't even need to drill all the 4 holes. Just drill 2 if you're using it for light applications. This is just going to be the hand of a robot, I guess, which shouldn't be too much. I don't expect this robot to carry a whole lot of stuff. That's why I want to use servos for this, because servos are easy to control, and from what you've seen in this video, hopefully now that they're easy to mount and can be done so cheaply too. So let's finish this up. Screwing, 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 screwing. Again, you can get cheaper parts by possibly using shorter bolts and using less bolts too. But okay, this appears to be solid in there. Just by 2 bolts on this corner and this corner, you got it in there. So we have a servo motor mounted to a piece of aluminum. Fine. Okay. Let's try to get this actually onto the arm and maybe get going with something that we want to do. Quarter-inch bolts are what we're going to use. I don't think I have the ones that are the proper length, but let's use these, I guess. Important thing to do, as you can see, we're going to put them in here. First thing to note, that, let's turn on our light. You can see that the bolt for the servo might come into contact with the bolt from this thing. So using shorter bolts is definitely a good idea to do, but appears to be just fine. But since this is thin aluminum and we're going to bolt things to it, I want to use some washers. So let's see how this fits. It should be just fine if we wiggle it in there, but yeah, you can see I'm just using what I have, but if you are going to do this yourself, you might want to, in fact, you might want to put in these bolts first if you're doing it this way. But okay, washer first, then put on the bolt. Okay, so now it fits. So okay, second bolt right here. Let's get a washer for that. Scooting back, looking for some more bracket washers. I think I'm actually using 5/16 washers, not quarter-inch ones. I kind of mix them up, but yeah. So doesn't really matter, but just put it in there. So here's our arm, and you can see it. This aluminum does bend, so yeah. So we are in place right now, but just to show. Okay, if you're really picky, use washers on this end too. This is thicker aluminum, so. From what I heard, anytime you use aluminum, it's best to use washers. If you're using steel though, washers are made out of steel, so steel and steel, it should be fine. But for this application, we're just using this for demonstrations. So this is actually pretty solid actually, since we have such a wide base right here. And if you wanted to, you could epoxy the servo down onto the little bracket piece and tighten this all the way. That would make it even stronger. And of course, we're not using 2 bolts on this thing right now. So I think this is a pretty good idea we could use for several pieces on this robot. Just since it has holes everywhere, might be a good idea to do. But that's all for today on this development of this project, I guess. See you next time, and I hope you have enjoyed this rather long video.